Gotta be plugged in. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Gotta be plugged in. Pa! We need pa! There we go. All right, looking a little dark. I don't know. Yeah, that's weird. Okay, I was looking dark because the power and the monitor doesn't fade thing. Okay, all right, we're good. All right, good morning. Good morning, everybody. I want to talk about how does it end? Can we talk about how it does it end? I want to know how it ends. How y'all think it ends? How y'all think it ends? I think that bacteria in the future gonna look back at us and read the bacteria newspaper in 2025, 2030, 2050, whatever. Bacteria newspaper is gonna say human extinction was an inside job. That's what I think. Human extinction was an inside job. Way back in the day, we had these things on the planet called humans. And the humans had some sort of a predator. We don't know what this predator looked like. We don't have much details because there's not much left, but they called the predator America. They called the predator America, and everyone warned this America thing, warned about it, that it was going to kill everybody, and then everybody died. Hang on, how come I don't see angry faces? What's going on this morning? Hang on. Maybe it's me. Let me get my thing right. When I say that, you're supposed to get upset if you're in America, by the way. I don't know if y'all supposed to have your identity on, put your identity hats on. I think identity ends the world. That's what I think. The uncivilized world. Like, I don't ask, how does civilization end? It's how does uncivilization quit? How does civilization begin by ending uncivilization? You gotta have your identity hat on. I think it's identity plus money. That's what I think. You give a creature an identity and you give it a struggle. You keep things from it. Hang on, let me share this out. Good morning, good morning. Uh-oh, something don't look right. What's going on? Something ain't looking right. Something ain't looking right. Something looking funky this morning. Something looking funky. Maybe I need to log back in. Boom, boom. Make it funky. Boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. That's what I want to talk about. Human extinction, identity. I think you break people by giving them an identity. I suspect that the reason identity is so popular this generation, this era, is because if you make people proud of a false fantasy construct, you break them. You break them. People who don't have an identity, they're hard to manage. Some people you can't, it's like you go into a daycare classroom, the kids running everywhere, you don't have the blue team, the red team, this grade, that grade, you just walk in, everybody's running crazy. Teachers can't handle it. The principal don't know what the hell to do. That's why the prison system, that's why elementary schools are modeled after the prison system, to get the kids to walk around as order. Same thing with adults. Think about adults that don't have identity, adults that only identify with me. How are you gonna manage them? How can you farm them? How do you get them to go to work and pay their taxes and build a world for you to dominate? You gotta give them a false identity and you gotta give them a struggle. That's what you do. So I think that's what ends the world. I think it's identity. Hang on, I'm out running my mouth. Let me see, did I share this? No, I didn't share it. Let me share it. Good morning, everybody. Woo, that's what I think. That's what I think. Because think about it like this. How many people do you know who get outraged and it's not over identity? How many people do you know get offended, but it's not over identity? I think all the offense, how you break an adult, is you give them something to be offended about. And if you can give them a lie of an identity, oh, you can offend the hell out of them. You can just produce news and lies. And as soon as you identify with something, and something is going after that thing, or something belittles that thing, immediately it belittles you. And it's a false construct, it's a false connection, because that's not even you. Identity are the strings of puppets. Well, what's the attachment point? They give you an identity, And at that point, they control you. They know how to make you upset. They know how to make you happy. They know how to give you fear. And that's how you break an intellectual. That's how you break an adult. You get them, there you go, there you go. I don't see no angry faces. Where the identity people? I want to see some angry faces. The identity people gotta be here. I need to see some angry faces because I need my identity. It was my idea. It was my idea, so it's my identity. I wasn't given it at birth, so I'll get offended so I can be controlled like a human farm, like elementary school, so you can get this people in that class, this kids in that class, get these kids to line up here and these kids to line up there. Can you imagine? Just imagine for a minute. School. In the morning before a class, and the kids don't have a class. They don't have a class identity. You think you're gonna manage that school? You think, no, hell no, them kids gonna be drawn on the walls, swinging from the rafters, playing basketball, hockey at the same time with some pucks, and they're gonna lose it there, but they're gonna be happy. Can't have that. No, you can't have no happy kids. Like you can't have happy adults. Like think of that. Anybody remember your mama jokes? Anybody remember your mama jokes? Your mama jokes was hot. We used to tell your mama jokes all the time. Question: why did, as children, at the age of 8, we did not get offended when somebody assaulted mama's honor? How come we didn't get offended? How come so few fights broke out? I couldn't even get on the bus. I get on the bus in the morning, got to get to the back seat. I like to hang out in the back. And by the time you get back there, first of all, I'm 8, 10, 22 N-words. But I got a couple mama jokes too, a couple daddy jokes. Your mama so fat, she's this. Your mama so this, she's that. Your mama so old, y'all remember that? And you didn't get offended. You're like, oh, you shut up. You don't know my mama. And you say something back. Well, your mama's this, or your daddy's this, or your that. And no one got offended at the age of 8. Now imagine over 50 getting offended over politicians. Imagine getting offended over strangers. People you've never met, people who don't even want to meet you. People only answer the phone if you call them, you email them, you text them. They don't even want to talk to you, but they want your vote. But I think that's how they play people. They give them these identities. And once you have an identity, you can be easily offended. If you're easily offended, they can give you fear. Once they give you fear, they control you. And that's all the political system is. It's just fear. That's all it is. They're giving you some sort of fear. And I was listening to Sadhguru. Hang on, let me flip this around. Let me flip this around, change the music. Boom! All right. I start a little early. It starts a little slow. This is my slavery. It's the only time I got to go do this. I was listening to Sadh and he was talking about a horror show, right? He was saying fear is a horror that you produce within yourself. Right? Because you fear something that didn't happen yet. It's the future. It's literally you predicting the future within your own head. And then you create your own horror movie. And it controls your behavior. Same way your politicians do. Same way your leaders do. They create a horror show. And they give it to you. And you believe it. And you put it in your head. And now you're scared of something. And now they control your behavior. You can fight the Republicans, you can fight the Democrats, you can fight the Democrats, you can be fearful of Trump. They create this fantasy horror show based in them lying about being able to predict the future to get some sort of behavior modification out of it. That's all it is. That is all it is. I'm gonna listen to Sadh kind of explain something on that front this morning. But first, I'm gonna look and see who's here and see if y'all already disagree. I haven't seen one angry face. No, John, this is not truth. Nope, it's not truth. Another thing Sadhguru said on truth, John, he said, don't believe anything that's not your experience yet. Don't believe anything, no matter who says it, if it's not your experience yet. He said, even if I say it, don't believe that nonsense. Anybody know what he's saying? He said, even if I say it, don't believe that nonsense. Sensing, experience, yet. We're on a planet where everybody and everything is trying to control you, from your husband to your wife to your friends to your girlfriend to your boyfriend to your politicians to your leaders to your everything is constantly to your children. Children like to control too. They'll attach them strings on you and get you dancing around like a puppet. You ever see a little baby girl with a grown man? It's sad. Oh, it's sad. I got friends. I lucked up though. I didn't have any girls. I lucked up. Boy, I'd have been messed up. I got some little girls grafted into my family, but I didn't have any directly. Boy, I tell you what, they'll play you like a string, play you like a fiddle. I don't know who plays who worse, little girls and daddy or politicians and adults over 50. I'm not sure who plays who the worst. All right, let me bring up YouTube. But don't trust, I was on a point there. Don't trust anything that's not your experience yet, because everybody's lying to you. Everybody's lying to you. The example he gave, I won't play it, I'll talk through it. The example he gave was, what is true anyway? What is day? We all agree on what daytime is, right? What day is, except for if you talk to an owl. An owl will disagree with you when the morning is. See, you think the morning is when the sun goes down. The owl thinks the morning is when the moon comes up, right? Well, no, that's the same damn thing. Flip it around. So the owl thinks it's daytime, it's time to get up and get to eating when the sun goes down. You think it's morning when the sun comes up. Everything is experience. Everything is sensing, right? That's why you have all these senses. And I love the way he put it. The man is a freaking genius. I listen to his lectures and talks all the time. All your senses, your 5 human senses, what are they for? They're so I can live my life and work for big corporations. No, they're not. Well, in a way, they're for survival, right? All your senses, they're just literally to survive. So you can see something, recognize if it's a threat, food, smell something, smell of some pizza or some kale cooking. Hearing, you hear the grizzly bear growling at you. Everything is about survival, and the human race has got to evolve to a place where we are about thriving, not surviving. That's why we have to go behind these senses, because all of our senses are played. Identity, being the key, being the key. We all do it. We all do it. Everybody's got an agenda. Everybody's got an agenda. Yes, me too. Damn it, I got my agenda. The only thing I'm trying to do, though, is I'm trying to make my agenda about doing what's right, fixing this planet so this doesn't happen. So bacteria in the future doesn't look back and say human extinction was an inside job, because it's gonna be. We keep playing this stupid identity game. All right, so here's what I'm thinking. So when I meet someone, what happens when you meet somebody? Think about it. What's the first thing you do? You look at them and you start processing, right? Your conscious mind does one thing, but your subconscious does another. It looks at the person. And you can interface and, you work with it, but it's just data. Your subconscious mind has a database of every movie you've watched, every television show you've seen, every speech of a politician you've listened to, everything of this false construct of a society that gets you into an identity group in conflict with someone else. See, whether or not you like white people, black people, yellow people, orange people, whatever you want to think, if you think people are colors, spectrums of some damn crayons, your subconscious is already making decisions about that person just based on what they look like. And it's not just color. What kind of hair they got? Do they have any tattoos? Do they have one of them eye tattoos? They got a nose ring? What kind of clothes they're wearing? Are they clean? Are they dirty? Do they dress like the king? And king told you poor people you're supposed to dress like? Are they clean? Do they brush the teeth? Do they have on rags and look like they're homeless? And you start making these decisions whether or not they're a threat. Identity. It's not just your personal identity that you take on that's a lie, that's a problem, but it's the identity of the entire uncivilization. And we all do it. I look at someone and I can only tell you what my conscious mind is doing. I can't tell you what my unconscious mind is doing, right? Because then I'd be a mystic or something like that, and I ain't none of that. I can tell you my conscious mind looks at someone. Yes, this color of their skin comes up. I don't want it to, but it does. Now, I don't make any subconscious decisions based on that, because I'm not a fool like some of y'all are who still believe this stuff that masters and railroad tycoons and kings gave you, this lie about you can tell anything about somebody by the color of their skin. But I don't do that. I look at their skin color. I look at what they're wearing. I look at the hat. Does it say anything on it? In my country, they're silly, they stupid. I look at it, if it says MAGA on it, that's somebody I gotta talk to. That's somebody I gotta talk to. But then again, if it says I'm with her, I gotta talk to them too. I look for ways to start conversations with people. I look at your shirt. I read your shirt. Do you have a t-shirt? Is it a logo? Did I work for that company? What does it say? What's the acronym? Because I'm looking for ways to start a conversation. Why? Because that's my agenda. My agenda is I think we need to free the human race. I think the human race has been a slave species long enough, and we need to free it from this idea of leadership. I think it's stupid that adults are still playing follow the leader after the age of 14. I think it's dumb. I think you need to go be yourself and stop letting other people teach you how to be, because they just take identity and play you against other people in this struggle till the end. That's how it all ends. That's the reality. That's the real picture. But anyway, I try to start a conversation. I look for things where I can interface with someone. If I run into somebody who looks like what my nation says is the opposite of me, I try to speak to them. And right now what that is that I guess they call it the redneck. That's what they call it. I see somebody with a mullet. I see somebody pulling up on a tractor or a dirty pickup truck with a gun rack. I see somebody gets out the car, look like ZZ Top. That's the first person I need to speak to. And I do my best to start a conversation and start talking with them. And I try to show them that the TV is wrong, that everybody that looks like me isn't ignorant. Everybody that looks like me isn't out there fighting Trump or doing something stupid, fighting Republicans, trying to take your guns and your rights, because I agree with the people who are enslaving me on the other side too. Why? Because for the same reason I would when I eat out, I pay a big tip. Why do I pay a big tip when I eat out? Because the people I'm tipping, I want them to realize, I want to break their identity in their what do they call them? Stereotypes. They say black people don't tip. So I tip big. I do my best to break down people's identities at any time I can, because I think that's how we save things. But that's my agenda. That is definitely my agenda. And I make decisions based on the things I identify about the person. That's why I think human extinction comes from identity. Because just as you can save a world with it, you can break a world from it. Somehow they've used that to break an entire nation of people. I do think America ends the world. I do. I think America brings about human extinction because it probably is the land where they've perfected identity. They've perfected how to take a free, independent, beautiful creature called a human being and break it and give it no being and make it into what they want to make it into. Everybody's got an agenda. Everybody, unfortunately, is placed into a group. I think we save the world when your identity is just me. That's it. Your identity is you. When you aren't in a group, when you can't be offended because you attach yourself to something else, when you take the strings and attach your arms, your leg, your ego, your fear, your anger, your aggression, attach it to a group, when you can't do that, you don't get offended. Or when you don't do it, you don't get offended. And at that point, you can process and make good decisions. You can be an intellectual. But I think it's very hard to be an intellectual with an identity, right? Why? Because for the same reason, the only way you break a critical thinking, independent intellectual is to make it emotional, right? And the number one way to make them emotional is to offend their identity. That's the whole point of the mama jokes. That's why your mama's so fat that this. That's why your daddy's so old that this. That's why because they're trying to offend you. And as kids, we didn't let that bounce right. That was the armor. It was like boom, 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 boom. You couldn't get me with nothing. I wasn't going to defend my mama nothing. I wasn't going to defend my mama's honor because you said something. You ain't never met my mama, John. You don't know my mama. Why would I get upset? You ever meet Trump? You ever meet Obama? You ever meet Bernie? You ever meet May or Merkel or Putin or any of these other people who wouldn't give you a grain of rice if you were starving and dying in front of their limo? You ever meet them? No, you ain't never met them. So why do you get so offended over them? Why do you get so offended over race? Why do you get so offended over religion? You are a creature in a human body having experience. All you got are 5 senses, and you use those senses to pull in data and make decisions. But the whole world, your whole world is happening inside your own head, your entire world. Don't trust anything that you haven't experienced yet, because everybody's lying. Like the owl and the human. The fox in the human, the bats in the human, they disagree on what daytime is. Don't trust it. They're having their experience. You have yours. But we got to free the human race. We got to free the human race. I'm going to go back. Let me do some comments real quick. We got to free the human race. Otherwise, this is going to happen. This is the eventual place identity will end up. This is where we are going to go if you adults don't become the rulers of your own ship. If you don't become your own rulers and your own leaders. If you don't let go of the identities they give you to control you. And it's not a conspiracy theory. Like I said, I don't think there's any great evil that's doing anything. I think you just got a bunch of systems that are preying on the human species. One of them is the news, which is why every news article has identity in it. Because if they started off with Trump this or Obama this or the Republicans that or Democrats that or black people this or white person did this or whatever, ISIS that, you've already made a decision. You didn't even read the article. You don't even know what happened yet, but you've already picked your side. That's how you know you're brainwashed. That's how you know you're being controlled. That's how you know you got the respect of a 4-year-old that gets when they show up to kindergarten. Get in line, everybody. Get your class. You're supposed to be in line. You're this age group. You're this age group. Your team this, your color that. You're supposed to be over here. Order. And I don't think we need order. I think we need disorder. We need complete disorder. We need complete freedom and disorder because that's the only way you get good activity out of a human being. All right, good morning. Oh, a bunch of y'all this morning. Good morning, John, Brother Ron, Walter, John, Cobra, Sharon, Rebecca, Jean. Good morning, Ivan. Let me see. Brother John says identity labels so they can divide you. If you don't get categorized or label them, or get categorized and label them, you can't hate and divide them. Which is true, John. I got little words. There's a little alphabet soup happening, but I hear what you're saying. Absolutely. They give you a label to divide you. They give you a label to give you a team, and later they'll use that through the news to tell you who to hate. They'll tell you what to do. They'll pull that string anytime they want to get some activity out of you. And if you see all the purple people going this way, you're going to go that way because you think you're a purple people. But there are no purple people. There are only purple people eaters. You remember the purple people eaters? Yes, I drank a lot of coffee this morning. Remember the purple people eaters? They're your leaders. They're the ones that are eating you. They're eating yourself. They're not letting you make your own decisions. They're using identity to pull your strings to play you around like a puppet. And that's what it's for, John. It's all about hate. The good thing about right now, though, John, is obviously all hate. All of it. It's all hate right now. That's the great thing. And this is why I think a lot of people are waking up. More and more every day, I hear more people talking about consciousness. Right? More and more, I hear more people talking about dropping the identity. More and more, I hear more people talking about why is everybody so focused on this identity? Why? How come every time you give a speech, you got to use that to get me to do something, which usually is voting or something like that? We might make it. I don't know. I know. That's a stretch. We might make it. I'm not sure. But I'm seeing a lot more people being played a lot less by this. Good morning, Grace. Good morning, Cindy and Sandy. Good morning, Angela. Rise and shine. Yes, rise and shine. Good morning, Debbie, Rachel, Linda. Let me see. Yeah, but would you talk about politicians? You're talking about truth. They're all pedophiles. Well, John, are all politicians pedophiles? Directly or indirectly, my answer is yes. My answer is yes. Why? Well, all the politicians want to keep the security state, the deep state, the NSA. They all got pictures. The cameras all talking and listening and recording everything. All the kids got the camera phones and pictures. So they got gigabytes of databases of all your naked children on the toilet in the shower because that's where they take their phones. So yeah, I agree. They're all pedophiles. I don't see none of them stop fighting it, John. I don't see any of them. I don't see any of them saying, we need to stop this. We got billions of gigabytes of data, naked children's pictures of in America. We can't keep this. We got to get rid of this. We need to delete those databases. That's pedophilia. We need to stop it. And I don't see Kamala saying that. I don't see AOC. I don't see Trump. I don't see Obama. I don't see Putin, May, or Merkel, or none of them. I don't see none of them stand, because they're on the other side, on the other countries, the other things that don't exist. On the other side, they're not fighting America's pedophilia federal government. They're not fighting, say, listen, we need to stop this. America's taking pictures of naked 7-year-olds in the bathroom and it just needs to cut it out. They're not saying that. Because they want to do the same thing. Why control? It's not because they want naked pictures of your kids. They don't give no two damns about naked pictures of your kids. They can go get as many kids as they want. Didn't they go to Africa and get like them 20, no, Haiti. Who was that? Went to Haiti, got them 23 kids, brought them back and used them in whatever form of slave method they wanted. Happens all the time. They don't care nothing about your kids and naked pictures of it. All they care about is control, and that's why they give you identity and play you your entire life like a fool. Because they made you proud to be a fantasy construct. That's how the Matrix works. It's one of its greatest tools. But I'm proud to be this identity. But why? Let me ask you a question. Anybody here proud of their any identities? Are you proud? Tell me why. I'm curious. Are you proud to be an American? Are you proud to be black? Are you proud to be Christian? Are you proud? Explain to me, why would you have pride in something that you believe, but you don't know is true? Why? Who gave you that pride? Why did they give you that pride? Is this something you can't question? Why don't you question? If you're upset by this conversation and its basis, the idea that you shouldn't be proud of some fantasy identity attachment they gave you, isn't that a sign? Isn't that an indicator? Isn't that a glitch in the matrix? A little something ain't feeling right. Maybe you took the wrong pill. Maybe you took the wrong pill. Truth hurts. Yeah, the truth is supposed to hurt. Who said that, John? The truth is supposed to hurt. That's why they give you lies. If they give you lies, then the truth hurts. If they give you the truth, then wait. If they give you the lies and they indoctrinate you to the lies, then hell yeah, the truth hurts. If they give you the truth, then lies hurt. Then the world goes the way it's supposed to, and they can't have that. Oh hell no, they need you voting. Good morning, Tony, brother. Tony's in the house. Good morning, Patricia. Let me see, problem, reaction, solution. That's right, Tony, that's how it works. Problem, reaction, solution. They gave you the problem, they said you were black. They gave you the problem, they said you were white. They gave you the problem, they said you were Christian or Muslim or Islam or American or whatever they gave you. And then they give you a reaction. They can judge your reaction because they can make up a story and put it on the news, and then they give you a solution. And they know you'll jump for it. They know you jump for it. Why? Because you were offended by the other group. And it makes perfectly good sense. I'm not saying you're a bad person because you do fall into problem, reaction, solution based on your identity. You're supposed to. Why? Because the other side is grouped up against you. Damn it, you gotta fight. They might come and take your welfare or you knock down the wall or something stupid. So I get it. But this is why we have a time now where we need people who are strong enough to stand up against it. That's fine. We're now in a time where we can fight that by walking away. What did I post? I posted something this morning. Oh yeah. No, I'm not gonna share that. That's gonna piss people off. I don't share that. Sometimes I post stuff on Facebook and it's gonna. All right, I'm gonna show you one. Hang on, I can show you one. Sometimes I say I get these. I know. I appreciate it most when I start seeing posts and say, nobody liking that. Nope. Then I know it's good because I know if I posted it like 4, 5, 6 months ago, people would have liked it and shared and subscribed to it. But now it's election time. Oh hell no! They got them identities flaring. They just snot bubbles. People just upset, offended, getting ready to go out and change the world with the people killing the world. They're about to go out. All right, I'm gonna show you one. It's funny to me. It's just like they're saying, power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. You know how true that is, and everybody agrees with that, and everybody give you hearts and likes. You can make the quote and post it, as long as it ain't election time. At election time, something magical happens. It's magic. Power. Power all of a sudden is not corruptible. Power is just, oh yeah, it makes perfectly good sense. We got to get behind the leaders of the government and make it bigger, good for more power. We need more laws. This freedom stuff isn't good. We need some help. And they give them more power. Like that, isn't that the indicator in society that you're being controlled? You can take something that's true blue since the beginning of time. Power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely until election time. Like, isn't that the glitch in the matrix for you? Isn't that like a little hint that you're being controlled, that actually made sense until your politician asked for more power? They're playing you. All right, I'm not going to show that one. I'm not, people. I want people to listen. I don't want to upset them too much. But sometimes you got to post things. It's just the long-term side effects of adults being led around like little children in elementary school, following and believing leaders who've experienced things that they haven't. The long-term side effect is going to be the destruction of the planet. That's what's going to happen because all those people want to rule the world. Like, how can you have powerful people in a time when just a few powerful people, a little power, can end the world? When you have powers that are world-ending, you can't have powerful people anymore. That should be common damn sense, right? If 20 people who press a button and agree to press a button can end all civilization for everybody, power has to stop. That's why we have to have a sovereignty movement. The only thing that's sovereign is people, person, not identity, not nation, not systems, not governments. They're not sovereign. The only thing sovereign is people, a person. You can't have power anymore. You cannot have power anymore. All right. Good morning. Good morning, Sandy. Good morning, Bayer. Good morning, Carrie, Trish. Good morning, John. What? Let me see. Sick of the moron. I love that Tony says moron. Sick of, I can't say how he does. He has so much passion when he talks. Sick of the moron population, Carrie. That's all. Moron. Well, they're morons. Yeah, but they're. You know what, Tony? I don't like that word. I feel it when you say it, but it's just, for me, it's just like they're just indoctrinated people, and we all were at one point in time. They were just born in a family, in a place that made it easier to control them, right? You know what I mean? Like, I was thinking, like, what's the difference between everybody in the prison system and me? What's the difference? The only difference, I'm gonna tell you me, I'm not gonna say you, because I know you're good and you're just kind and sweet and loving and you figured it out not to violent, horrible people in prisons. To me, the only difference between me and everybody in prison is where we were born. That's it. That's it. See, I know you're good, and I know you're nice, and you're a good person, and you wouldn't do anything to hurt anybody. I know that my brain and their body, in the family they were born, in immense poverty, with a father that ain't around or a mother that's on drugs, and you show me my only means survival is picking up a knife or a gun to put biscuits in my little sister's mouth. Oh, I know I'd be them. I know I'd be them. The only difference between me and the most violent criminal in prison, outside of the fact that in American prisons, the vast majority of people are non-violent crimes where there were no victims. Outside of that fact, no, the only difference between them and me is they're in cages. In cages. You know how like the left, they like to say that now? Donald Trump's putting people in cages. That's the whole American model, is to put people in cages based on their birth. Now you tell me how you're different. You're not. The only difference is we sold out everybody in prison. We sold them all out. They were all cute little babies at one time, born into this world that indoctrinates everybody into identity and starves some people into doing what we call crimes. We sold them all out. We're all sellouts. We're all some sellouts. I'm a sellout just for having a laptop. I'm a sellout just for having a cup of coffee. I know where the laptop came from, and the coffee was made on slave labor too. And they're like, what do they pay? What a cup of coffee costs? They pay like something like 1 penny to the coffee bean growers. And Starbucks charge, but like $4, $5, $6. How much is a cup of coffee now in America? $9? We're all sellouts. I think the only difference is those of us who want to stop selling out, the rest of our cousins, the rest of our species from all over this planet, and those who want to keep it rolling forward with these leaders. All right, let me see. Good morning, Carrie. Let me see. I am among the countless morons in one building. Stay to myself. Yeah, Carrie, when I was in corporate America, I had my headset. I can barely deal with people now. The only reason I go out and deal with people now is because we got to wake people up. That's why when I look at somebody, I use their identity to start a conversation. I use their perceived identity in this uncivilization to begin a conversation, because then it means that perhaps I can break down some of the stereotypes given to them by TV and movie and leaders and all of the nonsense in this uncivilization, all the programming that they do in people's unconscious. Our senses were developed in small groups, 25 to 50 people, paradigm of a hunter-gatherer. Yeah, Brother Walton, I remember something about that. I love like evolution and sociology and how we got to where we are, and that we don't do well in large groups. We don't do well in we haven't evolved to work well in 300 million people, groups, nations. We don't do well. We do best in little tribal communities. And I like what you're saying. I see where you're going with that. That's why I appreciate the thought of your identity should be you. You act local. You act local, but you think global. And there should be nothing in between. Nope, there should be no states, no nations, no trading blocks and continents. You're a part of an ecosystem called Earth, and you work from within your own community. You make sure everybody's fed, everybody's got their medicine, everybody has a house. And as a global society, we make sure that we're as we perfect something in our tribe, everybody has access to it. Open source world. Why? If we can grow food by robots, then everybody should have food. Why? Because if the next tribe got food, they're not gonna come rob us for food. They're not gonna get no spears and tanks and bombs to come rob us. If we can find out a way to take dirt and make it into gold, we share it with everybody. Why? Because everybody like gold. Why do we want to control the other tribes by not sharing? We want an open source world. Why? Because eventually there's going to be a tribe that doesn't have one, and they're going to want to kill us. And besides the fact, people are like, what's he talking about? That's crazy. There's no way you can turn dirt to gold. Wake up, fool. What is dirt? Energy. What is gold? Energy. It's just in a different function. It's just in a different format of atoms. Of course, this whole, like you go back to, what is that guy's name? Hermes Trismegistus and the Egyptians and alchemy and the fairy tales. You remember the fairy tale? What's his name? Rumpelstiltskin. Y'all remember that fairy tale? Rumpelstiltskin is a fairy tale that you can actually can't change rocks to gold. That's why I don't think there's any mythology anymore. Oh, quantum physics and atomic physics broke everything. Everything is possible. Everything is plausible. But why wouldn't you share that information? Because once you share it, then see, if you don't share it, you can use it for power, right? Information withheld is powerful. But if you share that information, open source, nobody has power. And isn't a good thing on a planet where you have a exponentially expanding species called the human and limited resources that nobody has any power, in a time where those who have power can end the world for everyone? Open source world everywhere, all around. Patricia, why are you laughing at mullets? Don't laugh at mullets. Some of my favorite friends got mullets. Nothing wrong with a mullet. I'm just saying, I look at that, and I'm on television. I'm not supposed to be friends with those people because of whole Democrat, Republican nonsense and fantasy, bipolar, ignorant arguments. And so I look for those people. I look for anybody who I think, they think they're supposed to be in conflict with me, and show them there's no conflict. There's no conflict. It's literally television. It's literally fantasy. It is programming. They are literally programming you with an identity. They're programming them with an identity, and it's a false construct in a matrix, and it needs to go away before we end life on this damn planet. ZZ, little old band from Texas. Yes, I like ZZ Top. That's why Lori, I like the time I grew up. The time I grew up, we didn't have this many ignorant people. We didn't have this many adults acting like children lining up for class with identities. You just had a whole bunch of people who laughed at identity. I'm a Georgia redneck. I hunt, I fish, and I love everybody. All right, John, can we get rid of the identity? Can we like, you're not a redneck, John, you're a John. Don't nobody know what you are. I don't know what you are. Like, these are just classifications. Can we get rid of that? I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong. Because you hunting fish, to me, that makes it sound like you're human, right? You have a gun? Do you? You got a gun right? Well, guess what? People kill people. You should have a gun. You should defend yourself. We literally have a military industrial complex bombing and killing people all over this world. We have a kill machine. So all of that to me means you're human. And you put it together in this mixture of a thing, you call it a John, you know? But I see what you're saying. I disagree with the labels, and I'm trying to do my best to get out of them. I'm trying to do my best to stop using them, to stop believing in them, to stop, because everybody is different. We break people when we give them that sort of thing. And the funny thing, John, I grew up fishing, did very little hunting, and I'm not even a redneck. Imagine that. I'm not that name. I like fishing, I like hunting, love running in the woods. We played with guns, or toy guns, BB guns, we used to shoot each other. Every time my cousin shot me with a BB gun, that bastard, he's on Facebook anyway. Oh, I had some bad cousins. Came out of California. We're not gonna go into that. Yeah, well, it's all divide and conquer. It's all divide and conquer. But if you're not an identity, they can't divide you. You know, the same reason farmer says blue cow, brown cow, milk cow, meat cow, to divide them up and abuse all of them. If you don't have an identity, then you can't be divided, and it's a hell of a lot harder to be conquered. For some reason, people like to be conquered right now because they're scared of the other group. Good morning, Brother Jack. Let me see. Without love, we don't survive. No, John, without love, we all die. We all die. And I think dying might hurt a little bit. But what is dying anyway? Do we really die? Do we go somewhere else? Go to another dimension? They call it heaven or something? I don't know. I haven't experienced that yet. That's not within my experience. I think it makes sense, it's plausible, but will I go kill other people because this place called heaven and hell and my religion or whatever? No, I won't, because I haven't experienced that. That's why it's called a belief system. It's faith. It's for you. It's for that internal thing. And that's how you break the world, when you take your internal belief systems and you try to impose it on other people. And that's what politics is called, because it means that you're a tick. You're poly, you're broken up into sections, and you begin to suck blood out of another group and try to make them like you. You take power from them because you can get more people lined up with you voting to take away their self and make them like you because you're right. That's why I don't believe in leadership, and I don't believe in leaders, because I don't think anybody's right. When it comes to identity, I fear that we are at a point of no return. I don't think so, Ivana. I think we can turn around. I think we can turn around. I don't think we're at the point of no return. I think it looks bad, but I think TV makes it look bad. I don't think it's as bad as it is. And the fact that I can look for people who have an identity I'm supposed to be in conflict with and have great conversations all damn day, it proves that television drums up the fantasy that the problem is worse than what it is. I don't think the problem's that bad. They're teaching our kids in schools to be politically correct, not to judge, to be personally offended by the slightest irregular pronoun. They're teaching them to censor themselves. Yes, they are, Trish, because they're making clones. They're making dumb robots. They're making kids. They're breaking children, and they're trying to make them more ignorant than adults, and it's working. Why? Because the adults are ignorant. The adults get offended by words. The adults fight and rampage on social media like some damn fools because of what somebody said in the comment section. Dummy, don't you know Facebook is a toy? Literally, social media is an adult toy. But they're breaking children because they have it's a great time to break children, Trish, right? Because they could, because the adults are providing a childish example. And so the media can use that and abuse that with big corporations and government to make the next generation even easier to control. That's why it's a good idea to offend people. Not too much. You want to offend them to get them yeah, and then talk to them. Don't offend them so much that they want to fight. People will kill you use the wrong word. Because adults are broken in this country, just like children. Mental and cultural conditioning. Absolutely, Brother Adam. Absolutely. It's propaganda. And they're just controlling people. It's all designed so they can dominate the world. And it's not because the people who are doing it are evil. It's just because everybody wants power. Everybody's scared to die. We evolved to, if we have more of this money stuff, more of this power stuff, we get to survive and we can get more without dying. It's the system that's the problem. We can break that system anytime we want to. Seek inclusivity with your Harmonize. Self-effacement. All right, Ron, you always got some deep words. I don't know what harmonize are. I have to look it up. Post me a link. I'll look into it. Harley's talking to Brother Walt. Says, Walt, I don't think it's all Jewish people, maybe the Zionists. Same thing is happening here in the U.S. Absolutely, Harley. And I appreciate that information right there. Like, it's not the Jews, right? First of all, there's no such thing as a Jew. All right, think about identity. That's what we're talking about. There's no such thing as a black. It's not the blacks. There's no such thing as a black. You know, the people in India are actually blacker than anybody black in America. So the names don't fit. Literally everybody in every religion believes something slightly different, unless you have a total clone. So everybody believes certain things different. Everybody is an individual in itself, but even more specifically, the people who are still in those groups, Zionism and Jewish are completely two different things, right? You have the Zionists, which are a political group who claim the Jewish faith, who are oppressing Jewish people in Israel. And that's why I think they want to invade Iran, because that's the second largest population of Jewish people who don't believe in the Torah the way they do, which they kind of threw out a few scriptures, which is what they do in America, to try to merge it so they can go and have this land called Israel, which doesn't exist. Won't let me comment. Oh no, it won't let you comment, Heaven. Well, you've been bad. You've been saying truthful things on this toy. You've been saying some truthful things on the Facebook toy, so they ban your comments. Good morning, Berna and John. Let me go down. I'm way over comments. Let me get down. Folks have such strong emotions about people, places, and things that they are absolutely no personal way of knowing a single thing about. Absolutely, Rebecca. Absolutely. Because everything's in that identity, that package, right? If that person said this and you're in conflict with that person because you were born here, then that equals that person, what they said couldn't be true, and you got to fight and you got to get emotional and act like a child, right? Because if you're like 4 years old, you're supposed to be in line with the yellow people. If somebody keeps telling you, pushing you in line with the other people, you're supposed to be upset. Or the yellow kids talk about the green kids, talking about team bird versus team fish, then you're supposed to be upset. And really, it's that ignorant. It's that childish that people get upset over identity. And the thing is that going back to what Sag said, which is what I think you're alluding to, is you don't even know what, you haven't experienced it anyway. You don't know what it's like being there or coming from one area. This is why I don't judge anybody in the prison system either. I don't judge anybody anywhere. You don't know what those people went through. You have no idea what they went through. All right, let me see. What? Whoa, good morning, Mike. Pride is one of the 7 deadly sins which has been forgotten. It has, Ron. It has. People don't talk about it anymore. Pride somehow, I think we're about the same age. When we were being raised, pride was a bad thing. It was one of the 7 deadly sins. Now, pride is a great thing. See how they play us on words, and everybody wants to have pride. They want to be proud of something. You're going to be proud of something, like George Carlin said, be proud of your own actions, the things that you create, the things you develop. Don't be proud of something that you had nothing to do with. A religion that was made up for you by some guy 3,000 years ago and modified hundreds of times before you got it. Or a race that you actually aren't. Literally, scientifically, there's no such thing as race. Angry faces from YouTube. Yeah, there's no angry faces that got on YouTube. They don't exist. Let me see. Unlike the ego, my soul knows that it's only responsible for its own reactions, not everyone else's. Gotta love that. Love it, absolutely, Adrian. Sheepless in Seattle. Let me see. Control. Lots of laughter. Yes, Kia, it is control. Let me see. We need more laws. Oh, Lord, who said that? Lynette, what's going on? Oh, you're joking. She said, we need more laws. This freedom stuff sucks. Right, exactly, Lynette. That's my point. Is laws the opposite of freedom? And everyone seems to know that until it's election time. Right? Like, law is just a way of taking something from you. Well, in America, they take it from you and they make an industry out of it by helping corporations do things that they shouldn't be doing. That usually is breaking the Bill of Rights. So why would you want to give more power to corporations and government if you know that's the exact opposite of freedom? They're literally taking the rights from you. And it's insanity to me. They give them more and more power, and they know that total power corrupts totally. absolute power corrupts? Absolutely. And in that absolute, we getting damn close, because in America, they throw people in prison for everything. Every damn thing. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Last time I checked, it was against the law to walk into a crowd and shoot everyone in your path. There's a law against that, right? Question mark. Why doesn't that law stop them? Because usually, Augustine, as you know, the person who's walking through the crowd and shooting everybody was given that aggression. They were given their mental illness. They are living in an uncivilized society that gave them no other option. And in their head, it seemed like a good idea to run a car into a crowd of people or shoot up a school full of children. Bad idea. But that person, in their head, in their human experience, based on the abuse they had, the prison they went to, or whatever happened, it made sense to them. Why? Because they did it. So we don't make a law against that. You try to figure out why the hell did it happen and fix this uncivilized society in the jacked up laws denying freedoms, creating mentally ill people who can't survive. So it doesn't, because that's the craziest thing. Like, why would you make, I'm glad you said it the way you said it, Augustine, because why would you make a law against something that actually is common sense to the person who's doing it? Why would you make it illegal to do something to that person that's common damn sense? Because you're stupid, because you're trying to make an industry, not because you're trying to solve the problem or fix anything. You're just trying to make profit from it occurring. You just want to be able to take that person, put them in prison, and make money on commissary, putting them in a bed because you're selling locks and mattresses. It's all a game. It's all BS, and that's why I don't watch the news. I watch it on here to laugh at it. But after that, I really don't pay attention to it. All right, good morning, Terry. Good morning. I look at the long comments. It's kind of hard to read the long comments. What time is it? Damn it, I gotta get out of here. Good morning, Jonathan. I'm not proud, but I'm not going to apologize for being European descent to please some social justice warrior with a destroy the patriarchal agenda. Well, Walt, you shouldn't apologize for anything because you didn't do anything. Not that I know of, right? You were born. You were taught certain things, but on their side too, they were born, they were taught certain things, they were taught that this is the right way to go about things, and if it's ignorant, they should probably stop. But everybody was born into this game, and we're either gonna carry the avatars, which aren't us, or we're gonna get rid of them, and I'm just like, get rid of them. But I don't think anybody needs to apologize. Society drives everybody. I think all we need to do is focus on personally, individually getting better. And I don't know what the patriarchy agenda is, but I know that on a planet where you got matriarchs, and there are more matriarchs than patriarchs shouldn't have all the power. The rule by force and governing, where you have more numbers and more force, you can force other people to do what you want them to do because you're correct. I think that's a mistake. I don't think anybody should be getting together in force. That is a patriarchal thing. And it needs to go away, but it doesn't go away by fighting Brother Walt, getting Sharpie signs and protesting outside his house. That's stupid. You know, who's against that? What do they call them? Social justice warriors. They need to work on them. I don't think I know any social justice warriors. I'm not, I don't know. But do you live in a just world? Is it just denying somebody else justice? Think about that. And a warrior, what are you a warrior for? What war are you fighting? Who is it helping? Who is it gonna help? Who is it intended to help? Questions I don't know, because I don't know who the social justice warriors are. But if you seek justice, the people who are with you and got you on that task, are they just? Do they care about justice? Do they have a record of justice? Have you gone to their resume and looked up justice? You better not say no Democrats. Well, you better not say that. Better not say the Republicans neither, because I got a nation full of people that they put in prison that there was no justice anywhere. So that's something to think about. But that's the problem with being led. When you're led, they make a fool out of you. Don't let anybody lead you. Lead yourself. Control indeed, Gerard. For the example, all the mass shooters are military connected MK Ultra. And that's the thing that shouldn't exist, Harley, right? It's the thing that there shouldn't be no secrets in government. They got secrets and they can do things like MK Ultra. They can make people. Anybody see that thing? Was that true where they said, well, I know it's probably true, but the FBI got caught trying to make a kid on the extreme right do a violent act or something? I posted the other day, somebody posted, I reposted it, and it made sense. I don't know if it's true, but it made sense, right? Same way they brainwash the adults with television. Of course they brainwash kids and try to get them to do things. They can use MK Ultra and they don't have to. Television is an MK Ultra, right? They control people just with the media and news and headlines. You know, but breaking children because they're a little more naive and they're a little easier to mold, to me, that's not a conspiracy. That's what they do all the time. They got a better way of doing that with drugs and poison and brainwashing in another method, then it makes sense. That's what they've always been up to. All right. I hope Gerard and I go to the same camp. Talking about the FEMA camp, Patricia. Yeah, I know. I forgot what FEMA zone I'm in. I want to, because I need to know where to go when the currency collapses. Patricia, I ain't going to that camp. Although they gonna have to get me. Y'all gonna have to be at my door day one. Day one. But if I go to that camp, I guess in my bug out bag, I'm gonna have some Betamax tapes and VHS tapes. We're gonna watch Star Trek, yeah. No, you don't want to be in my FEMA camp. No, Patricia, you don't want to be in my FEMA camp. No. We're gonna get in trouble, girl. No. You ever see Hogan's Heroes? No, you don't want to be in mine. No, we're gonna be getting spanked and punished and beat and shut down. We're gonna use TV privileges. We're not gonna be able to hang naked pictures on the wall or nothing. No, every chance I get, I'm be trolling the guards. Hell no. DHS, oh no, they either gonna brainwash me and mess me up or kill me, because I have no time. I'm not actually here. I'm a wave energy spiritual creature. I have no time for your brainwashing. You do not want to be. You ever watch F Troop? That's where I was raised. I am anti-authority in every way, shape, and form. You do not want to be in my FEMA camp. You need to go to a nice FEMA camp where everybody listens to the instructions, they take on the identities, and they let them brainwash them to be good Americans. You do not want to go to mine. Mine, they're going to shoot, they're going to just put us on the shooting line. Just by association, you're going down. You're going down like everybody on this list. Y'all all being watched. I know. You better not be on my list. You watch my videos, you share them, you're being watched. You're on a list. The DHS, I was informed, has a Gerard list. You believe in sovereignty and freedom and leave everybody alone, you're going to be on a bad list. You don't want to be on that association. If you're scared, you don't want to be on that list. Now, if you have no fear, that's something different. You might want to change the world. But if you're scared of something, scared of these FEMA camps, because that's where we're going. It's just a matter of time. They keep playing this game, and it should happen. It should happen. I should go to a FEMA camp. Why? Because the majority of the people in my nation think I should. The majority of people in my nation, they just want to keep bombing, killing, destroying, genocide, and stealing everything they can from everybody all over the world. That's all they want to do. They will keep telling what the neighbor wanted to do. They want a wall to stop people from immigrating. They've been immigrating here for thousands of years, and they want to traffic guns all over the planet and get those people to get the guns from everybody and the neighbors. They want health care, but they want to keep being poisoned. Oh no, empirically, they want me in a FEMA camp. I say truthful things that they don't like. That's what's supposed to happen. When you live in a world with powers that can end the world, nobody can have any power, people. Nobody can have any power. Joe Biden is a Zionist, so he is Trump. You know what? Well, let me say this. I don't have any problem with Zionism. I got a problem with what they do. You know what I mean? I don't have a problem with Joe. I got a problem with him kissing children. Like he something in the head didn't working right. He needs help. Joe needs help, and the Zionists need help. Like, we can help people. I'm all about let's heal people. Let's not judge him. But should he be president? I don't think Trump should be president. I don't think we should have a president. I don't think we should even have a government anymore. I think it's a failed experiment. A good environment is everything. It is everything, Ty. Once you have a good environment, you got good people. You got a bad environment, you got bad people. It is that simple. Stop fighting the bad people. You're not going to beat the bad people because the environment makes more bad people. Stop it. The more you fight bad people, the more the environment gets badder. And then the more bad people you get. Like Sadhguru said, I keep going back to him, which is there are no good and bad people. There's just environment. And we oscillate between doing good and bad things based on how bad the environment is. So you want to help people, fix the environment. You want people to stop shooting up malls and neighborhoods and schools or whatever, and stop letting the environment raise kids who think it's a good idea to shoot up schools, high schools, and whatever else. It is that simple. Like the whole military thing. Somebody said above, most mass shooters are from the military. Okay, so why are they shooting everything? Well, should the human race have militaries? That's a good question. You know, should boot camp be designed to turn on warrior genes to make aggressive humans out of young people and put tanks in their hands? The problems are all easy to fix. Like Gerard has preached before, we should be able to govern ourselves, and we are not sovereign. Govern ourselves. Are we not sovereign human beings? We're definitely tied. We are sovereign human beings. Everybody is. We don't act like it. We control other people. We don't respect the sovereignty in everybody else, and that is the key problem. And I agree with your whole statement, except for the whole Gerard preaching, brother. I ain't preaching nothing to nobody. I don't know nothing. Like I said from the beginning, like Sag said, don't believe anything that's not your experience yet. Don't believe anything I say. Don't believe anything I say unless you experience it. You go out there and start talking to people, and you find out that those people who were supposed to hate you don't really hate you. They just don't know you. Get to know them. Buy them a cup of coffee. Have a conversation. And then in your experience, if you realize that those people don't hate you, that they're good people, that they got kids like you got kids, it's just yours play basketball and theirs play soccer or something like that. You put hot sauce on your chips and they put mayonnaise. You find out that people like you are. And then it's in your experience that these people don't hate me. I've been lied to my whole life. They don't want to kill me. They don't want to control me. They don't want to usurp power over me. They're just like me. They're pushed into a group like I am. And if I wanted to stop, then you know your fight is at that root level. See, I don't preach to anybody. Preaching to somebody means you're right. I mean, I think I'm right from within me, but I'm like sharing because I want you to go out and experience it yourself. And then it can be real in your experience. Don't believe what anybody says. Only 5G is fully implemented across the world. They really won't be able to go off grid without them knowing unless you dig a deep hole and live underground. Time to stand up. Yeah, it's time to stop 5G, Ty. The doctors have said it. The neuroscientists have said it. The entomologists have said it. Everybody's saying it, and the political parties are going straight ahead with it. So everybody welcome 5G to your neighborhood because the Democrats and Republicans are going to bring it. And once it works in America and they control all the populations in the city centers, the rest of the nation's going to do it too. You're not going to be safe. That's why the fight isn't between Cisco and Siemens and Huawei. The fight is between humans and control. Right? The fight is between American Patriot systems and the Russians S-400s. Nope. The fight is between humans and their control. And the more you believe this stuff, the worse it's going to get. But 5G is coming. That's why as soon as they put 5G in my neighborhood, I'm outie. Peace. Done. I'm out. I don't need cancer, leukemia. I don't need none of that. I drink smoothies and I eat healthy for a reason. You know, I can't have 5G in my garden. All right. Last couple comments. Let me get going. These wars are no longer across overseas. It's against consciousness here and in our homeland. Absolutely. Absolutely. Everything is consciousness, I think, Harley. Everything, the wars are all about that. It's just unconscious people fighting unconscious people. When people have consciousness, they don't fight. They evolve. The fight has always been the same, and they're always been good, and they've always, dang, it's moved too fast. They've always been good at getting us to look somewhere else. Squirrel, yes. It works. Anytime they use identity, they use something we're emotional about, they can get us, they just pull that string and we arm do this, head do that. They want you to look over there, so they say black, you go like that. They want you to look over there, they say Obama, you go like this. They want you to look over there, they say Trump, you go like that. You know, and we need to stop being that puppet thing, because puppets, they miss the beat all the time. Don't be a puppet. Don't be a puppet. The world's coming to an end, and it's being ended by identity. That's I mean, I don't know what you think is bringing about extinction. From what I see, bacteria in the future, they're going to look back and they're going to say, human extinction was an inside job. Because the humans, they lost a sense of self, they lost a sense of sovereignty, and this predator called America, being controlled by central banking and Rothschilds, while they thought it was political parties, destroyed the planet. That's okay, it's our turn. Bacteria. All right, there you go. Listen, y'all have a great day. This is Gerard. I am out of here. Love y'all to death. Keep struggling. I'm not struggling. Walk away. Walk away. That's the only way we get out of this mess. Y'all have a good day now.